Hi everyone! For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lisa Romanek, and this is my Genius Hour TED Talk. The question that I chose to explore for my Genius Hour project was, how does incorporating a healthier diet and regular exercise decrease stress and improve one's mental health? Now, I know at first hearing that question it is very long and full of a lot of detail, but before I get into decoding and answering the question for you and sharing my research findings, I first wanted to share with you how I came to choose that topic and why I'm so passionate about it. There are two main reasons really behind why I chose this question for my Genius Hour project. And I first want to start and talk about the timing of this Genius Hour project. So we started this at the beginning of January. And like anyone else, as I'm sure many of you who are going to be watching this, I made a New Year's resolution at the start of 2017 to become healthier. How cliche of me, right? I know. This has been a very, very repetitive and vicious cycle that I have done as a New Year's resolution probably since, I would say, grade 9 or grade 10 maybe, so quite a few years ago. And it seems that I, throughout the year, will start this 1 week of healthy eating and exercising, whether I go for a run or I'm doing these cool workout videos online or I took up yoga for a couple months once, but it was never consistent and I never followed through with these actions to see the long-term benefits of it. And so I thought, why not use these 5 weeks of my Genius Hour to hold me accountable, to pick one workout program and to really, really see the results. The second reason why I chose this question has to do with the mental health aspect. And I just want to start by saying that I have never been diagnosed with a mental illness, and that's not my reasoning behind this Genius Hour. However, it always seems that this time of year, right after Christmas, it's like I come off from such a high from being around my friends and my family and having this amazing, relaxing time off, and a downward spiral into probably my lowest time of the year that I can pinpoint for the last 5 years. I usually feel very overwhelmed during the month of January, feel very less motivated, I don't have a lot of energy, and I just overall feel very low. And so I think most people refer to that as the winter blues. At least that's what we refer to it as in my family. Oh, you're just having a bad day. It's just the winter blues. And so that is why the timing, again, played into a large part of my reasoning for choosing this question. But it was the combination of this New Year's resolution on top of the winter blues that I really wanted to see the impact that healthy eating and exercise could have on my life. And so, without further ado, I would love to share my findings and my research with you. So right away in week 1, the first thing, to be quite honest, what I did to start my Genius Hour project research was I Googled the term winter blues. And I learned very quickly that there is an actual medical term to refer to the winter blues, and it's called the seasonal affective disorder. So after doing a bit of reading and a little bit of glancing on the winter blues and the signs and symptoms, I then decided to pick a workout program that would work for me for these next 5 weeks, and I decided on one that was a mix between weightlifting and cardio, so I figured I'd get the best of both worlds. And then I also started pinning exciting new recipes to try for this healthy eating kick that I was starting. So then it was go time. I had my recipes, I had my workout program, and I was ready to start this Genius Hour project. But, funny enough, I did face a large obstacle during my first week, and to some, this might sound quite funny or almost humorous, but the biggest obstacle for me during the first week of my research was the lack of sunshine that was present. The winter blues could not have literally occurred any more than they did that week, or at least that's how I felt, because I was feeling unmotivated, I was feeling so tired, even though I had only worked out maybe once. The next day I had no energy, I didn't want to do it again. However, I pushed through, and despite the lack of sunshine, I was able to work out 5 times that week. So going from not working out at all to 5 times throughout the week was a huge accomplishment. I had beat this lack of sunshine, I had worked out 5 days, I was eating healthier, but at the same time, this was almost a norm for me after I started any health kick or any workout kick. And so the real test I knew was going to come in week 2 to keep it up and be consistent. The funniest thing happened at the start of the week. I was scrolling through my Facebook newsfeed one day, and an article from the Toronto Star caught my eye that my friend had posted, and I'm going to read you the title of the article. It says, Lack of sunlight for the city of Toronto. Environment Canada says that the city has only seen 48.8 hours of sunlight compared to the seasonal average of 85 hours. So by the end of week 2, I had seen this great article about the lack of sunshine that was present in my life. I continued to work out for 6 days, I believe, that week, and continued this healthier eating. And by the end of the week, I really reflected on where I had been previous years at this time, and even just at the start of January before I started this. And just in those 2 weeks, I honestly felt like I had more energy than I can remember during the winter months. I felt more motivated. It was like this shift from this girl who would wake up every morning and think, great, another dreary winter day. Let me check the countdown on my phone to how many days until summer. To this girl who woke up, felt energized, felt ready to take on this day, and knew that I could handle whatever was coming despite whatever weather there was outside. Before I knew it, I was well into the swing of things. Week 3 and 4 were occurring, and I just kept working out. I kept trying these new recipes. I was feeling, like I said before, more energized than I had ever felt before, more productive, more content with my life, and just really feeling good about everything. I started working out 7 days a week. I have never worked out 7 days a week before in my life. And so just feeling really high and really accomplished with everything that I had been doing. Those people who know me very well know that I am a very pressure-prompted, last-minute person, leaving all my assignments usually till the night before, if not the morning before, depending on when they're due. However, since starting this Genius Hour project, I feel so motivated and energized to get my work done earlier, usually at least a day, if not 2 or 3 days before the actual due date. And so this has been an amazing shift, something I wish I had done a lot sooner. And I honestly do believe that this is from the energy that I'm gaining from eating healthier, from working out, and from just overall being in a better spot mentally during this time of year than what I'm used to. So after really noticing these impacts that this new routine, I guess you could call it, was having on my life, I decided to actually do some scientific research and to see if there was a method behind this madness that I was doing. And I was almost positive that I was going to find results online, and just a simple Google search will tell you everything you need to know. That yes, there is a correlation between decreasing stress, improving your mental health through healthier eating and exercise. And so really quickly through this search and from reading these articles, I found that these results that I have been seeing, so the decreased stress, the increased motivation, more energy, this improved self-confidence and overall self-being that I've been feeling, are actually scientifically proven to increase. The one benefit that really struck me and surprised me from these articles that I was reading was the idea of a better sleep pattern over time through exercise and healthier eating. And this was something that I hadn't really been tracking for the last 3 weeks. And so I decided to really think about and to really track for the last 2 weeks of my Genius Hour project. And this actually was really easy for me because I wear a Fitbit. And so if you didn't know, your Fitbit tracks how many times you wake up during the night and also how many times you are restless. Now, before this Genius Hour project, I would not consider myself a good sleeper. My best friend is actually these guys right here. If you've never seen these before, these are melatonin pills. And so I usually take 1 or 2 of those, probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 nights a week, just to help me relax. I maybe took it once or twice throughout the entire 3 weeks because by the end of the night, I was exhausted. I think from this increased energy of just go, 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 I just wanted to go to bed, and as soon as my head hit that pillow, I was out cold for the rest of the night. Before the Genius Hour project, my Fitbit usually told me that I was restless upwards of 15 times a night and was awake usually around 5 to 10 minutes throughout the night. So yes, the melatonin was helping me fall asleep. However, it wasn't putting me into this deep, relaxing sleep and this good sleep that I needed. However, if you want to take a look at what my Fitbit told me from my sleep last night, I'll try and hold it up here so you can read it. That says 3 times restless, 7 minutes awake. And so this is honestly a huge, huge improvement for me in my overall sleep pattern. And I think this sleep definitely has a correlation with my energy level. So during this TED Talk, I have attested to healthier eating and regular exercise has helped me feel more energized, be more productive, feel overall better about myself as a person and self-confidence, better sleep patterns. And so what does this mean in correlation to stress level and mental health? Well, there is 100% a correlation between healthy eating and exercise and improving your mental health and decreasing your stress level. I think I can come to the conclusion through my research and my own personal beliefs that through healthier eating and consistently exercising, you start to achieve mindfulness, which has this overall lasting impression on your stress level and your mental health. And I think that that is truly remarkable. So now that Genius Hour is over, is it just a matter of these 5 weeks and this incredible energy and incredible self-well-being that I've been feeling gone out the window? No more? Absolutely not. I honestly see myself keeping this up and keep moving forward and forward and forward as much as I can, as so that this becomes a lifestyle. This doesn't become something where I'm consistently falling back and restarting and falling back and restarting. I have committed, and I see myself keeping this as my lifestyle for as long as I can. And I know that it's not going to be easy, but I hope that I get to the point where I don't even need to think about this as a new lifestyle, because it's just such a habit, and it's already becoming a habit for me, which is awesome. I would like to conclude this TED Talk by just saying self-care is so important. You need to make time for yourself. Throughout my research process, I chose the means of healthy eating and exercise as my forms of self-care. But you can do anything, and I promise you will beat the winter blues. You will beat any blue period that you might be feeling. You will decrease your stress level. You will improve your mental health. And it will hopefully become this new lifestyle for you as it has for me. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to my TED Talk.